Hello, racing fans. How you doing? Doug Henwood, the Number Cruncher, back with another broadcast. You never know what you're going to hear to start us off. That is Question by the Moody Blues from the mid-1960s, like 67, but I'm somewhere in that range. If you've never heard that complete song, I recommend you go find a good copy, download it, and add it to your to the songs you listen to. It's a beauty. Got to be careful these days too, because something like Spotify, just as an example, I notice the versions that often have made it to these types of services aren't even the original song. Certainly, sometimes not the original artist, but even a different version than was what was popular back in the day. So make sure you get a good version of this song because it is amazing. So I recommend you check it out and let me know what you think, because just one more thing that to me makes life great is music. And some of the stuff from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, you don't hear it all the time, and they're absolutely worth a listen still. They have aged well. The Moody Blues, Question. That's enough of that. So, moving on, having a look at Woodbine. We've been doing pretty good, actually. Tuesday night, we were on the Woodbine Mohawk broadcast for Nahu. I'm always so grateful to Mike Probozzi for that opportunity. Only had a couple of winners, but we did have, some exactas, and definitely our picks made a lot of sense. It was an interesting night. Saturday was actually much better. Last time we did this on July the 13th, we came up with 5 winners, 5 exactas. That's out of 10. 8 out of 10 of our top picks were first or second. 3 superfectas, 20-cent variety, paid $375. Even caught the late pick 4 a couple of times. So that's really what we're looking for, hoping that the information that we discuss is just helpful. It's as simple as that. And you know that I always beat on the drum for this is what the program says, and that we should be doing a more formal and in-depth review of the program information. I think you do need a process. Because again, we want to me, it's important to pull up more than just the obvious closing quarter information, who he's ran against, who the driver is. You got to go deeper than that to really have a chance at coming up with some real gems. So I want to give you front half information, middle move information, and adjusted closing quarter. At some point, we'll really get into the details on how I'm calculating those. And, for what races? What races do we use? What races in the history that the program is providing are important? I think maybe I might circle back and do an updated summary of that information for you soon. In terms of Saturday night, be aware that, again, it was a good night. And just to show you that if you're betting win, fair enough. Maybe you can focus in on obvious ones, and lots of favorites are winning. But if we're betting those exacta boxes and tries and supers, then I think we need to understand that the rest of the players, even the winners, are not necessarily simply the most obvious horse. For example, our front half speed, those calculations, there were 28 of them on Saturday night, and 17 of them made the top 4. And again, I'm kind of including now the top 4 because there's a superfecta every race. 17 out of 28 in the top 4. And that's front half speed that may fall off a little bit at the end, but that front half speed calc is important. Middle move, there's rarely a ton of these on the program, but we should be calculating them. There were 4 of them on the last card, and 2 for 4 of those were in the top 4, a couple of times at a price. Adjusted closing quarter is, I think, generally considered a really good benchmark for who's good and who's not. And from last Saturday night, there were 33 adjusted closing quarter horses on my schedule, and 26 of them were in the top 4. So that's a real good measuring stick, and that's typically the case. You're going to have some surprises jump in, but if we if we're looking at more than just adjusted closing quarter or drivers or trainers, then I think we can have a good chance of nailing some exactas tri-supers by including the front half, middle move information as well. So be aware of it, and I'm giving it here on the show. So that's 5 minutes, 51 seconds. Sorry for the ramble, guys. Here we go. Race number 1, Friday, July 19th, Woodbine Standardbreds, front half speed, 7 to 8. No middle move horses. In fact, on this card, we only got race 4 where there's a middle move horse. In this first race, adjusted closing quarter is 6. 1 and 4 are tied for second. So 6 on top, 1 and 4 for second. Selections, I'm going to go with the 6. Make Out With Me. 26 and 1. You got to go down a few races to see it. But again, I really am looking for horses who potentially, what can the horse potentially do for us? So with breaks, post 10s, races at other tracks, sometimes we're a little bit down the program. And I actually like that because it should mean that the best effort is a little bit hidden. So we need to mine that out. So 26 and 1, second from the bottom on my program, May the 24th. This horse could definitely close if it does stay flat. For second, the 2, We Meet Again, really on fire right now, and I think the obvious choice certainly should be the favorite. Past the Delight, the 4, is as steady as they come. That's for our third horse, and then We Believe In for fourth. So 6, 2, 4, and 7. Front half speed in the second race, 6, and then 1, and then 2 and 5 tied for third. No middle move horses. Adjusted closing quarter is 1, and then 9, and then 4 and 7 tied for third. So selections. I'm going to go with the very steady Lakers Bank, the 1 horse. This horse has got good speed. It got the rail. You know it's going to be 1, 2, or 3 to start with, very likely. 2 starts back, 26 and 1. So I love a horse in good position who can come home that hard. So 26 and 1 makes Lakers Bank our choice in the second. For second, the very steady and talented 4, Chalk Hanover. For third, the 6, Always a Thrill. And 2, Chesterman for fourth. 1, 4, 6, 2. Race number 3, front half speed, 3, 7, and 8. No middle move horses. Adjusted closing quarter, 9, 8, and then 2, 10 tied for third. Selections. I'm going to stray just a tiny bit, and instead of grabbing the 9, who the number we're coming up with is out of a qualifier, and we got post 9, I'm going to move in 1 position and take Gone Goodbye. 28 and 3 is his adjusted closing quarter. Again, you got to go down a few positions on the program because we got a break in the middle and a post 10 that makes it hard, although here we are post 9. 28 and 3 would get it done here for a speed horse. For second, the 2, Gaming Queen. For third, we'll grudgingly include Grambling Hall. James McDonald. I'm somewhat on the James McDonald bandwagon. It seems that when I do back him, I'm not all that impressed with some of the things that happen, but obviously when push comes to shove, James McDonald is a heck of a driver. So 8, 2, 9, and then 7 for fourth here in race number 3. Race 4, the start of the 20-cent pick 4, front half speed, 2, 5, 8. This is our middle move race. We have a tie between 5 and 6. Both of them are showing us a plus 5. Adjusted closing quarter, 1, and then 2, 5, 8 tied for second. In this race, selection-wise, I've gone on record on the Horse Players newsletter that I like Chain Gang. I said Chain Gang managed to shed the shackles in his last race, and he did. It was a very impressive first over trip, and a long first over trip, and yet when he hit the stretch and with Reign Supreme, I think it is, on the front end, kind of waiting for him. He still managed to get by. So Chain Gang really impressed me in his last, and most importantly, 26-2 with that hard first over trip. He was still coming, the best of anybody here. For second, the 5, who's a nice combination of middle move and 26-4 closing quarters. So I think you need him on your pick 5 and pick 4 ticket as well. For third, Giggity, the 2 and 8, Watching Sunset for fourth. So in the fourth race, 1, 5, 2, and 8. Race number 5, front half speed, 1 on top, and then 7, 10 tied for second. No middle move horses. Adjusted closing quarter, 5 with 9, and then 3 horse tied for third, 1, 4, and 6. I think it's important to note all the horses that are there. I simply want to tell you what the program is saying. And the difference between the second pick and these 3 tied for third is only 1/5 of a second. So I think they all deserve to be mentioned. So 5 with 9 with a tie for third of 1, 4, 6. Selection-wise, I'm going to go with the 5, Her Currency, running really well, and that closing quarter of 27-1 in the last is by quite a bit the best in here. So Her Currency, maybe at a little bit of a price, pick for second on the program. The 1, West River Ivory for second, 4, Flirty Dancer for third, and 10, Mascara, possibly to come up and be fourth. 10's actually quite good, very consistent, tough post today, but has some speed, so you never know. 5, 1, 4, and 10 here in the fifth. Race number 6, front half speed, 8, 9, 2. No middle move horses. Adjusted closing quarter, 7. And then 3, 4 tied for second. I'm going to use a little artistic license here. Coming up with the closing quarter is the 7, but I'm going to pass on the 7 today. I don't know what it is. I don't love it from that post, even though pretty nice race last time. I got to go with Dealer's Delight, the 3, and Jody Jameson. Again, a good solid 27-4 last time. For second, the 2, Craigie Burn. This one's just, I remember a Craigie Burn race where he showed a lot of ability. A bit of an in and outer, definitely capable of some breaks. Note that we got Louis Roy back up today, and if you look at the past performance, we had 3 races in a row with Louis, and he was second, first with this horse, and that's exactly the best performance for the horse this year. So we're putting Louis and Craigie Burn back together today, so beware. For third, the 4, It Don't Matter to Me, and then the 9, Rock Climber for fourth. So we'll see if kind of ignoring Twin Bee Fling will bite me on the butt. That's race number 6. Race 7, front half speed, 7, 5, and 3. No middle move horses. Adjusted closing quarter, we got a bunch. And again, they're all 1/5 of a second apart. So we have 3 and 8 tied at 26-2. And then we have 1, 2, 5, and 7 all tied at 26-3. So 6 horses within 1/5 of a second. But you know what? That 1/5 of a second matters when you're trying to go one horse versus the other. Selection-wise, get a stray to the front half pick who can come home pretty darn good. Do Better, the 7. Running quite well. I think going into the year, folks were thinking this was going to be a real good one. Hasn't quite measured up to that, but this is an Ontario Sire Stakes grassroots bunch, and certainly Do Better fits here. So Do Better on top. For second, the 2, Mick Wicked Time. The 1, The Vicar for third, and 8, Deuce Hanover for fourth. All of those are, I think, have a shot in here in this race. That's race number 7, so let's go back and we'll give you the 20-cent pick 4 starting in the fourth. In the first leg, 1 and 5, and then 1, 4, 5, with 2, 3, 4, 7, and 9. Finally, 1, 2, 7 in the last leg. So we're going to spend $18. I really would like to nail this sequence, so let's do it. $18, I think we can get it. Going back to race number 8, front half speed, 9, and then 3, and then 5 and 8 tied for third. No middle move horses. Adjusted closing quarter, 3, 6, and 10. Selection-wise, I'm going to stick with that closing quarter horse. It's the 3, Raffle Winner. 26 and 3 is the best in this race. And again, I like it because he was not too far back. Follow that up with a real nice race. The closing quarter wasn't as good, but that's because he was on the front end and going pretty hard. This horse is a nice blend of closing quarter and front half speed, and I've said that before. It's a deadly combination. So Raffle Winner, maybe at a bit of a price, 6-1, not picked in the top 4. For second, the obvious one, Gentrify. For third, the 2, Swift Talker, and 9, Suntan City to round out the top 4. Race number 9, front half speed, 7, 5, 8. No middle move horses. Adjusted closing quarter, 2, 1, 4. Selections, again, I'm going to call a little bit of an audible, go with the speed horse, but I'm showing and how much as the speed, 1/5 of a second different. I'm going to give the nod to How Much and McNair. So How Much is my pick. The 5 horse for second, 2, Occasionally Sharp. Actually, this horse is sharp quite a bit. For third, the 1, Blinded by Delight. And 4, This Magic Moment for fourth. Again, a good bunch in here. I'm going with 5, 2, 1, and 4. To finish things off, race number 10. This is the Jackpot High Five. I believe I've heard that they're letting us play this every night before Saturday night's mandatory payouts. So we have one more shot at it here on Friday before they definitely will give it out. Front half speed in the 10th, 3 and 8 are tied, and then 4 and 9 are tied for third. No middle move horses, adjusted closing quarter, 2, 9, and 8. And selection-wise, again, combination of speed and closing quarter. Going to go with the 8, Manhawk. Right on its game. Now that it's jumped into this claiming, these horses that are claimers in this particular level, been deadly. 2 wins in a row. Again, great speed, 54 and 4. And the third best, but very close, 28 and 1 closing quarter. So Manhawk should do very well here. For second, Baylor Bobby, pretty obvious, 2 seconds in a row behind Manhawk. And third, Friar Voltaire, with a little bit of a post advantage coming in at 2. Max Patrick, the 4 for fourth. And to round out that Jackpot High Five, we'll try the 1. How you play the game. 8, 9, 2, 4, 1 here in the 10th. And finally, the late pick 4, 20-cent variety, 1, 2, and 7 with 3, 6, with 1, 2, 4, 5. With 8, 9. Rambled a little bit today. This is a little longer version of what we do, but I think I am. It just shows I'm pondering, trying to get a little bit of information out. I might do a few specialty videos just to try to fine-tune what I've been saying. I still believe passionately in the need to let the program speak. Nothing wrong with, there's some great subjective handicappers out there, but I really think our starting point should be exactly with what the program is telling us. That's the story. Doug Hen with the Number Cruncher. Be back with some 4 winners only, and then we'll do it all over again for Saturday night. Been a pleasure. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.